All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. Thursday is always my busiest day, but I really wanted to make at least a good quick video on these. All right, so Palantir and SoundHound will be the focus. I for sure will be flashing the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. I can already hear my kitty in the background. That's going to be a good video. Big news out of Palantir, and they partner with Microsoft. Look, you can argue that Microsoft is one of the top whatever, right? You want to argue top 10, top 5, even if you want to argue top 3, I think you can make a really good case for it, right? When Palantir is still an up and coming name, right? Like let's not put them higher than they actually are. And when you can combine yourself with that important of a company like a Microsoft, oh my gosh, you're going to see days like this where you're getting not only a double digit gain, but you are right back over all the moving averages, right where we were not that long ago, right? When we come into SoundHound, so SoundHound's about earnings right now, right? Looks like there's some stuff being shared right here. This one obviously just dropped right here. Cool. Nonetheless, all right, two things, and I always say this. Earnings is one of those things that either amplifies the technicals or completely erases it and just completely turns it around, all right? This is a beautiful candle. That's a nice MACD and RSI with volume. Right now, I think it's really going to be about this 527 line, and sorry, I got caught. It looks like after hours is pushing a bit, so we'll flash both of it, all right? And then I really do want to keep an eye on NASDAQ. Did I click the wrong one? I for sure did. Oh, what is this? CCU. Oh, interesting. Maybe we'll look at that one later on. CompQ is what I wanted to click on. CompQX is NASDAQ. Look, I've been talking about the 8 and the 100 moving average on NASDAQ. I've been talking about the 8 and 100 moving average on the S&P 500. We're basically there on both. We just need a break and confirm, all right? So a lot of good news on the stocks themselves. There's some bigger market conditions that are going on. The question really is going to be what's going to win, the individual stock news or what does happen to the market, up or down, right? So before we do go any further though, and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. I'm sorry for my kitty back there. We have horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. And clearly my kitty is agreeing with me in the background right now, all right? So we're going to start with Palantir. I might chapter it out if I do enough breaking out of both. But I think I really do have... I got to let my cat out. She is getting a little too loud. I apologize. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. All right, she's out of here. I feel like the thoughts really are the same with both, all right? First and foremost, this Palantir news, I think might supersede SoundHound a little bit, only because they partnered with such a juggernaut. Look, Microsoft is a no-joke company. They are the bluest of the blue chips, and I started the video with it. If you want to argue that they're a top 10, a top 5, a top 3, you can even argue they're better than NVIDIA if you really want, and I think it's a real, like, Microsoft is no joke, and to partner with them is really big, all right? The other thing, and I say this all the time, all right? There is something called the PayPal army, all right? Elon is part of it. The dude that is the founder of this company is part of it. It's essentially like 6 guys. They started PayPal. They are the founders of PayPal. And they've each broken off to do their own thing. Obviously, they got a lot of money out of PayPal. They reinvested it in places. And the PayPal army is an army that you do not attack. You know what I mean? And this is just another good example of it. Palantir is no joke. You know what I mean? They have government contracts. They've got contracts with these big influential blue chip companies. I mean, it's It's a no joke thing, right? And as I look at the daily, I am liking the MACD, I am liking the RSI. It's been real nice volume the last couple days. As I'm looking at the weekly, we are actually over all the moving averages on the weekly. We are now starting to smell this 3270 golden line, right? Clearly, all-time highs are somewhere here on this wick, and like we've had better candles, but oh my, if this line breaks, oh my. And again, just look at these weekly RSI MACD numbers, right? The one thing you just gotta remember is the market's in a it's an interesting situation. All right, we have now come all the way down to the last moving average on the daily, like it should. The 200 was a good strong line, and we were able to bounce up. All right, the issue is we're still under the 8 and the 20. All right, and the question's going to be, what can we get over basically 17,000 flat? Can we get over both the 8 and the 100? If we do, we actually have a real good shot at coming up to 17.5, give or take, right? Maybe about 17,200, because again, you can still see that the 20 is still coming down, even with this little uptrend that we're forming, right? So I would say 17 and then 17.2 are my next lines up. All right, the worst thing that could happen is we get rejected by either the 8 or the 100, and basically come back down to 16.4, right? I can easily see that happening. Actually, it'd be even worse if we came down to like 16.3-ish, you know what I mean? But hopefully we can get over those two. If we do, believe me, that's going to amplify all this Palantir love, and that's probably going to at least give us the ability to, let's just look at it on the daily. Let's just zoom out real quick. Let's just look how long the last time we were really well over this line was all the way back here in 2021. And let's be honest, the last time we were truly over it was way, way earlier in 2021. And it's essentially green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 nothing, 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 green, 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 red, red, red. It could be a nice green, green, green all the way up to that 33 roughly, right? So, I think the goal would be, let me just look at QQQ. It's the same thing, right? The goal would be give us a nice 200 moving average bounce, make it enough to get over that 8, over the 100. I'm not entirely sure we're getting over the 20 moving average just yet. All right, but that said, hopefully we can form a nice little uptrend there and magnify the stuff. But yeah, Palantir, it actually really feels like 32 is going to come. And again, there's a little bit of me thinking that we're going to hold a little bit of an uptrend on the NASDAQ, but I sincerely do believe that there's still a little bit more pain that's going to come in the overall markets. That might make us reject at that 3270, I think is what that line was, and then come back down. But hey, I like, it really feels like, I would say this. I think I'm going to do it. Let's wait till tomorrow. Let's see what tomorrow looks like. It feels like we're probably going to actually draw another line around this 2950 area, give or take. I can see us going up, back down to that, and then hopefully once we get the good NASDAQ recovery, a good NASDAQ uptrend, hopefully we go from there, all right? But yeah, again, I love it when we're over all the moving averages. We just formed the 200 as well, right? We just passed the 200th week, so that's why this is a brand new line. And yeah, we're over all 5 so far, right? We need next week to confirm. I think next week I'll do it. It's that week after I think I'm a little bit worried about, all right? So I think I'll make Palantir its own chapter. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Let's come into SoundHound, and really, a lot of the important stuff is happening, I think, in the next 30 minutes. So I don't believe the SoundHound earnings has actually started just yet. There's a couple headlines I'm seeing, all right? And it's funny because I flashed this one earlier. I saw someone ask an AI. Looks like some AI thought it was negative. I think the easiest thing that I'm looking at right now is SoundHound actually beat their earnings per share. All right, what I'm looking at, and I'll flash it. I'm hoping I see it somewhere else. No one's flashing it yet. No one's flashing it yet. Oh, I don't know what this is. All right, I'll get. I'm getting lost. I love this place too much. Okay, let's stay focused real quick. What I'm looking at Webull right now, and on Webull News, there is a headline from Seeking Alpha that's at least. It looks like in an easy picture saying they beat the earnings per share by a full 5 cents. So their earnings per share was negative 4 cents. The expectation was actually it was going to be negative 9 cents. So though it's negative, hey, it's up there. Now, some people might not like the fact that it's non GAAP. Um, I forgot what that's an acronym for like the global accounting practices or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but personally, I'm not an economist, so I personally don't care, right? I think as long as you have a good earnings per share headline, that in itself can do a lot of things. But the one thing that it kind of bothered me, I'm going to come into the 1 minute chart and we're going to flash the after hours, all right? You can see at 4 p.m. we move into after hours, right? There was a really big pop. And again, I started this section with the conference call. I don't think has started yet. What I'm seeing is it's going to start at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 o'clock my time, right? So I think this was just a little bit of a continuation on today's really big candle. And I think today's really big candle was a little bit of that NASDAQ correction, right? I talked about in the beginning, just in case you fast forward it. Look, the NASDAQ on the daily came all the way down to the last moving average. You hear me say it all the time. This is a hard line to break up, and it's a hard line to lose down. And like the strongest last line should, it was a good little propeller, right? We're not sure, and we as me right now, I think we have a good chance at getting over 1700. I don't think we get much higher than 1725. All right, that's kind of my NASDAQ thoughts right now. I actually made a video yesterday about why I think that, okay? But that said, if the market goes up, right, if we get that little recovery next week that I'm thinking, I think we have a decent shot at coming to about 660. I am not 100% sure we're going to run all the way up to the 780. Now, don't get me wrong. Green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 nothing, 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 right? Like, it's here. This is a good channel. We have a beautifully low RSI. It was just really high not that long ago, so we know it could get, like, most of the time, I would actually say, my goodness, this is it right here, right? I think we just really need to see where I don't know, maybe I'm just a little too scared of the NASDAQ, right? But you always hear me say it, like the indices are the ocean, these little stocks that we carry are just the boats in it, right? And I am loving seeing this thing past this roughly 230 line, right? Let me come back to the 1 minute. Oh, nice. There's a real big test about to happen at $5.45. If 545 breaks, man, it actually might make a quick run to 550, if not even, maybe even at 560. We'll see what happens with that test. But really, tomorrow's close is what matters, all right? I think what we're going to need is a close. Yeah, I like this line actually. It's basically half of this and basically the top of this. What's actually the top of this? All right, we need a close. Let's use that 580. I think I like 580 more. We need a close of 580 or higher tomorrow. All right, because remember, regular hours is down here at 520, right? If we can come all the way up to 580, that's a nice confirmation in my book right there, right? I need at least 580. I think the worst thing would be if we come down here. I would hate for this to come back down to 480. We would lose two of the moving averages. Hey, we'd hold the 8 and the 50 and we'll kind of make some determinations from there. But I think those are the two numbers right there. I think it's basically that dollar range right there. I think between $4.80 would be the bad confirmation, $5.80 would be the good confirmation, all right? Where's the weekly at? Just like Palantir, it is actually over all the moving averages. This has not been around for 200 weeks. We actually just created that 100 moving average on the weekly, right? So there is no 200 coming anytime soon. What's your height right there? 620. All right, cool. I know, I like our numbers. I think 480 or 580 is what we're basically looking for tomorrow, and I think that's going to help propel what continues the week after. Again, my caution would come at the end of next week, coming into basically 2 weeks from now. That's where I think NASDAQ's going to hit the line. maybe come to a test they can't beat, and then kind of correct from there. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you so much.